Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Iron Man issue 20. And this was kind of a nutty issue. I think it was a perfect kind of way to do a come down issue from like the whole Iron God and Korvac kind of thing, because it mainly centers around Tony using his roller skates and having to fight an intelligent gorilla. And I was just like, alrighty then. And it just actually works well. It's a nice kind of silly thing to kind of like get everything kind of like back to kind of a normal kind of thing, even though it's kind of abnormal, if that makes sense. So we see that Tony gets picked up from rehab, talking about and figuring out what's going on. That they've got like a fantasy baseball league thing going between the friends and everything. And how that whole situation's going on. And throughout the whole issue, we've got Vic Martinelli pretty much calling Tony constantly about something that's like, all right, we'll have to see what's going on here. So they pretty much stop at a place to pretty much eat. She's giving them the kind of lowdown on what's going on baseball wise, and he kind of hands her a letter for her to kind of read. And she gets through it, and he's like, oh, Tony. And he's like, he asked her if he wants to. I don't have a ring. It felt tacky. And that he's explaining why he's kind of asking her to marry her in this kind of way. Let me see here. There we go. And that he's got Clary right now, and she anchors him, and that he really loves her, and she loves him too. And the thing is, she hasn't really had a good like track record with marriages, with like to the son of Satan, and that she died and she was trapped in hell. And I'm like, yeah, I get having that trauma over that. Uh, yeah, totally get that. And then superhero, like getting married to a superhero, would have its own kind of issues as well. However, trapped in hell with demons, bad times all around, and then she just asked to pretty much think about it. It's like, I think that has a lower chance with Tony, but there is still like demon chances because he has popped up against those kind of things. So we then shift, and he is doing a Stark thing for an exascale 5150 thing. That's like this new hot supercomputer. And of course, we see Vic calling again. They're going to be going up against like master level chess against a fierce opponent. And everybody's pretty much asking him about like what's going on with the rehab and everything, and having the power cosmic. And he's just like, hey, can we just focus on the kind of fun stuff today? And I kind of get that. That's an interesting kind of meta way to kind of being like, hey, can we get some more kind of answers on these things? It's like, how about we just do this kind of fun thing for today? So I think it kind of works. Now, granted, I hope that we like kind of delve more deeply into those kind of issues and everything, because Tony's like, hey, yeah, I don't have the best ideas, but there are some good things that came out of it, with like the diseases that were cured, fuel sources, sanitation, traffic, all that kind of stuff, and then somebody asked about like why Michael Korvac would save his life and all that before he's like, all right, let's get to here. Let's see. The pride and joy of the Empire State University's Advanced Zoological Cognition Program, Chet the Gorilla. And it's like, all right, never heard of Chet before. Let's kind of see how this goes on. And he then kind of pulls Tony aside, like, hey, can I kind of work with you? Because I like computer programming and everything. He's like, I'm not actively at the firm, but I could like pass your resume along and everything. And then he's kind of being a fucking, oh, the high powered brush off. I should have seen that coming. Then of course bringing up Dr. Shapiro the cat, and it's like, yeah, like Tony's not actively at that company anymore. Like, yeah, he was involved in it, but there's only so much he can do. And then it gets on that the computer's pretty much beating him, and he's trying to do some stuff. Tony's trying to like calm everything down, but he's like, "Fuck this shit." Starts spouting off some stupid shit, being like, "You're just, it's rigged. It's a farce. Uh, I refuse to be a pawn in a rich man's game." It's like, I just was trying to show this thing off, man. Like, I was not trying to do this kind of weird shit. As he's then knocked off the roof, and then he gets his armor in a pretty kick-ass kind of way. I'm like, yes, that is always good to have it to be able to come off like that. And then he like hits it, but the thing is, Chet then decides to hack in and pretty much disable all of his weapons and stuff with pretty much almost everything about the armor. As he then flies at him, and he's like, "I don't have boots. I don't have anything like. I don't have repulsors." And it's like, "I'll show you unethical." Ah, shit! As he's pretty much getting ready to get like trounced by him, it's like, damn, that's really good. Like, we get good armor, we get good definition on the gorilla. It's like, all right. And then he pretty much rides his ass like a fucking, like some kind of bike ass thing, and then just slams him down. And Tony's like, I'm in trouble, boss. What the fuck can I use? I was like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna crush you to death. And well, this is embarrassing as he's pretty much running from him, and then just like, fuck you, Chet. You're cheating again, Chet. This isn't a fair fight. He's like, I'm not a cheater. Yes, you are. Chet the cheater. Chet the cheater. And it's like, it's almost Spidey-esque, but not really. Like, if Tony gets into like a hairy-ass situation, now granted, this is one of the hairiest of the asses of the situation, is like, ah, shit. He's like, come on, something's gonna work. He's like, alright, roller skates. Let's fucking go with this. And then the gorilla fucking hijacks a moped. It's like, alright, this is going to be weird. So Patsy's still working about it, and she's like, I love him more than Buzz Baxter or Damon Hellstrom. And Tony Stark is a grown-up. It's like, yes, most of the time he is. Let's see here. Was she... Yeah, that's about it. I'm like, was there not... It almost felt like there's another part where they were like looking at... Patsy talking about stuff. Let me see here. No. Oh, yeah. She was just pretty much, like, pondering if she loved him or whatnot, and what was kind of going on, and, like, talking about, like, is she trying to, like, fix him? And, like, he doesn't need fixing, he needs, let me see. He needs and he loves her. And then she's trying to think of what she needs. And I'm like, that's a good thing to think about. Let's see. And then we pretty much see that Chet takes some kind of sword and Tony kind of like jousts with Chet. And like knocks him off, checkmates him. And he's like, hey, drop off your resume with Stark Unlimited HR. Then we see that Mick is still trying to call Patsy's like, what the fuck's going on with this gorilla thing? He's like, damn, so much for controlling the narrative. And she's like, I can't do this right now. And then we see that Vic is like, hey, I need you to call me back. I've got something and I could really use your help here. As we see like the 10 rings of the Mandarin there. It's like, okay, that should be interesting to kind of see how that kind of works out. But I did like how weird this one was. It's like, okay, Tony's just trying to not deal with the bigger kind of stuff at the moment. This is that kind of come down issue as a gorilla tries to pretty much kill his ass because it has been beaten by an artificial intelligence. As Patsy's pondering the whole question of being married to Tony or not, as she's trying to fix him, what would kind of work within this, and what are the positives and negatives before deciding ultimately at this juncture here to not do it. So we'll kind of have to see what the fallout is for that, and how Tony is going to have to deal with this new situation of the Mandarin's rings being up in the air and what could come from that. So I'm like, okay, this was a kind of cool, weird one. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to take a little bit of like, all right, it kind of plot demands that Tony doesn't have access to any kind of thing except for the roller skates, but it works well enough of being like, okay, Chet was pissed. He was able to get Tony away enough to pretty much hack in and like turn off his shit, and then pretty much get so much on his ass that he wouldn't have enough time to like kind of undo that to get his weapons back, and instead get to a certain place where he could like use a fucking flagpole to kind of like knock his ass out. So I enjoyed this kind of weird, wacky issue, and can't wait to see what goes on with the Mandarin's rings. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.